That was a rough shot to do.
You good?
Do I look good?
That's for the fans to decide. Guys, leave it in the comments. Does Stefan look good after that shot?
Come on, guys.
Let us know.
You know I look good.
Hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk.
Ding.
I'm joined as always by my co-host and brother Bill. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Looking at the bottom of this glass. Looking at me. Looking at you. Me watching me, watching you. I still don't get that song.
Watching me, watching. Wait, what song? By who?
Sweet Caroline.
Oh, right,
Neil Diamond.
right.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, yeah, Sweet Caroline. That's a cute song.
There's a lot of songs I don't understand from rock music, but that's why.
Lyrics don't always have to make sense.
Well, that's why I don't understand why people get on the rappers so tough. Like, if I don't understand what that nigga's talking about, you don't get mad because you don't know what the fuck Steven Tyler's talking about.
Right, yeah. Yeah, there's a different, there's a weird...
fucking Rock This Way is a bunch of gibberish.
Yeah, there's definitely a literal authorship that people put onto rappers for sure. Like, you also have to be the person who wrote the shit as opposed to, singers.
Motherfucking Steven Tyler talking about a hey diddle diddle and a cat and a fiddle. Nigga, what the fuck? Nigga, you doing Mother Goose rockin' rhymes, nigga.
Hey diddle and a cat and a fiddle, then what the fuck did I say? Guys,
man.
I'm Jedi Master Grayson, and today we are talking about a lot of things, clearly. But most importantly, we are talking about Jimmy Cameron's wettest movie since Titanic. Ooh. Guys, we are talking about Avatar: The Way of Water.
I'm wet. Are you wet?
There's going to be a lot going on in this movie, and I'm so excited to jump into it. See
the remote?
I don't. Oh, it's right there. It's on the arm of the chair.
Sorry, YouTube. Please don't demonetize us because I said dick hole.
I'm sure we're going to say much worse. But before we dive into the show, I just want to remind you guys that the first annual Drunk Banthas Awards, aka the Drunkies,
hey,
are coming up soon. But you can go into our community YouTube page and cast your vote for your favorite nerd stuff that came out this year. There are 5 nominees for each category, but feel free to write in your own nomination in the comments. If it gets enough likes, then it will be considered in the running. So go ahead and check it out. There are some exciting races going on right now. Best horror movie is really tight. Lower Decks and Rick and Morty are also in a dead heat.
Tight.
For best animated series.
Tight.
So guys, make your voices heard.
When are you doing it? When are we doing it? When are we doing it?
I haven't decided on a date. We can do late January. I wanted to do before the Oscars, but
which is when?
It's like March. So we got some time.
So middle of February.
But at some points, people are going to stop voting. But yeah, so I think middle of February sounds like a good time. Middle of February. Black History Month. Sounds like
people get out there and vote. Also, if you live in the Los Angeles area, hit me up. You're getting an invite to the Drunkies.
To the Drunkies.
Put your name in the comment. You can get put your name in the comments. Drop a comment in the video, any video. All you got to do is be a subscriber. And
not an insane person with weapons. There will be a screening process.
All you gotta do is all you gotta do is live in the Los Angeles area, subscribe to the podcast, and leave a comment at the bottom. Look, that's a lot, actually. I'm saying,
I feel like there should be more than you should have to do.
So look, if you do that, clearly you're not a serial killer, and you get an invite to the studio here, and we will motherfucking get faded, really faded, and we'll have a live audience here celebrating the Drunkies. And right now, this is when everybody would be like, hey, the Drunkies. And guess also, I just decided this earlier. Drunkies are fans. They are our fans. Y'all are the ones.
Oh, so the drunkies. Okay, yeah.
Y'all are the ones choosing who's gonna win these awards. Like, we're not making any decisions. Mm-hmm. We voted, but we only get a vote. It's democracy. So y'all let us know. Go out there and vote. Stuff the ballot box if you need to, because you got to make sure the one you want is gonna get that win. You know, use 26 different YouTube accounts and fucking do it. So yeah, Drunkies is coming up mid-February. We're gonna drop a date next video.
Yeah,
so you're gonna have to watch this video
date
to the end, because maybe we might change our mind. We might decide on what we're gonna do anyway in this video, because we do that kind of stuff. And then you got to watch the next video, because it's definitely gonna happen in the next video.
Definitely, maybe, possibly, for certain. But guys, yeah, we honestly really appreciate you guys like interacting with the community page and making all the votes, all the people who have voted so far. Thanks for doing that. And also don't forget to like and subscribe and share our content with your friends, families, and mortal enemies.
Go on now. Share.
Enough of the housekeeping. Let's get to. It's time to go to Pandora. It's time to go to that wonderful world in a galaxy far, far away.
That's right.
A quick overview of the story for this one. So the beginning of this movie catches us up on what's been going on with the Sully family. They have 3 birth children and 1 adopted kid, and 1 kid that's also hanging around. I guess he's also an adopted kid. They got 2 adopted kids. I'm not sure who's yeah, sorry. As the Sullys are enjoying a prosperous life, the Sky People come back to a time they want. Well, sorry.
Wait a minute.
What?
How drunk did you already get? Like, goddamn. Hold on. So we're gonna rewind. So you're missing some kids, man. The damn kid, the adopted kid. There's only 1 adopted kid.
There's 2 adopted kids. There's Kira, and then there's Spider.
Oh, well, he doesn't really stay with them. He stays with the humans, but he just be coming through and hanging out.
That's why I was like, he's not he's sort of adopted, but he's not.
He ain't adopted.
He does see Jake as a
he
father
that nigga
figure.
down the street.
I felt bad.
He's Max he's Max from Goof Troop. Nigga. Like, this nigga ain't in the family.
Max is
Not Max, JP.
Oh, PJ.
Fat nigga. He the fat nigga from
Goof Troop.
He the fat nigga from Goof Troop. This nigga's not in the family.
We will get to Spider. But as the Sullys are enjoying their prosperous life, the Sky People come back, and this time they want to take over the whole planet because Earth is dying and they need a new home. But before we get into the nitty gritty,
no, well, that's not the reason yet, is it? Oh yeah, that is right. Yeah, that is.
That's basically the reason that they.
Yeah, you're right. I was wrong.
They show up. What were your initial thoughts on this?
You know what? We're changing it up. We're not doing initial thoughts.
You want to do initial thoughts?
We're doing initial thoughts at the end this time.
Okay, that'd be like final thoughts.
That's our initial thoughts.
Okay.
It's just we not doing initial thoughts.
It's the last initial.
We're gonna break down. We're gonna do the breakdown. Then we'll give our initial thoughts.
Okay, gotcha.
Or final thoughts. It's not gonna be at the. It'll be at the end. God damn it!
I like that. We're gonna give our breakdown. Then we're gonna give our last initial thoughts.
URQ.
I guess we should just like get into it. You want to just like get into it? Like,
you know what?
Spoilers and all.
First of all, for you people who have subscribed and been with us for a long time, let's talk about what we're talking about.
There's that catchphrase. Do you want to just go through the story? Because like there's a lot going on.
Let's go down.
You want to
let's do what we would have done without me telling everybody how I feel about the show before they watch the whole damn video.
Let's see. We did find out that we're getting back in touch with the Sully family, and now that there's this conflict with the Sky People. They brought back Stephen Lang. What did you think of the return of Stephen Lang?
I mean, they brought him back as an avatar.
Yeah,
As an avatar.
an avatar.
He was very racist in the first one, so imagine being like really racist white guy, and then you come back as like a black dude. Somebody's probably really racist right now watching this. You come back as me.
They didn't really touch on that. Like
They kind of did because he tried to kill everybody. When he first woke up.
He
woke up and tried to kill everybody.
Yeah,
maybe that's a touch.
I did like that. Yeah,
maybe that was the touch on it. I think it was like
it's not that kind of movie.
It's not. It's a Disney movie.
This is Lovecraft Country.
It's a Disney movie.
Yeah,
I would have loved to see James Cameron's this movie. James Cameron's world come to life in like an R-rated movie. Only because like they could say things or touch on certain issues that they probably would like to but can't because it's a Disney movie. But I didn't even know that was a fucking Disney movie until like when I was sitting down in the movie theater. I was like, oh damn, Disney on that. Damn,
I
Disney
forgot
on everything.
that the first one was Disney and that this is a Disney. It's weird because I always just assume I associate Lightstorm with James Cameron, but
right. But so I just thought, wow, this is, touching on some real, like, heavier issues, you know what I mean? But they only did it for a very short period of time. I feel like they missed out, like you were saying earlier, I feel like they missed out on that part. They could have definitely touched on a little bit more how different he was.
Right.
But it seemed that he was, like, kind of dissociated of being the person that he was before. Like, he didn't really consider himself to be that person. Not until he met Spider.
Right.
So I liked that did that part. It gave a new element to what's gonna happen.
Right.
How's this gonna play out? If they bring him back as a human, you know what's gonna happen. This nigga finna die again. Very similar way.
I love it. He got shot with arrows by Neytiri. It was interesting seeing Stephen Lang back. Who I love that actor. He's awesome. In fact, I keep calling him Stephen Lang. I don't remember what the character's name was.
You fucked me up with that part at first. I really was guessing that was who you were talking about.
It's like I'm assuming we're talking about the same person. I thought it was the only thing I kind of bumped up against, and this is just like a very actually type of thing, but it was a little weird that they used the technology of like downloading a person's consciousness and downloading it into the avatar when like the whole reason that Jake had to use the avatar in the first movie is because his brother died. It's like why didn't y'all create a contingency of uploading his consciousness up into a thing so you could put him into the
It didn't exist. Avatar. The technology didn't exist yet.
I mean, it clearly did because it happened in the same like
No. The technology to build an avatar did not exist because like a biological one to recreate one, because that's what they were working on during the first movie. So it did not exist yet. So they had to get him to occupy. And also they mentioned how expensive you got to go back to the first one. It wasn't just that he was biologically the same as his brother. It was that these motherfuckers are very expensive and they don't want to just throw one away. Mm-hmm. So they would have to recreate his brother to get him to get into that thing at that point, which is clearly illegal still in this futuristic world that is Earth. So yeah, they would have had to throw away a piece of $1 trillion, military equipment, which we know that the United States of America does not do. So
I mean, well, they could have still used it. I'm saying they would have just had the consciousness of.
No, you couldn't. That's not how it worked. It wasn't just. They didn't spin up. I mean,
that's if they had.
They didn't dump an avatar into. Just knowledge into. They built a whole new body that was meant to be able to take in the information and memories of it. So it's not the same as the ones from the first movie. It's not like they just dumped it in there.
Right.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have been doing this in the first place. They would have just been dumping people's consciousness into other avatars, and then they go out and do stuff. But,
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I did like that the fact that like they, we don't have the you have to get into the tank to get into the body and all that stuff, because that did make that it eliminated some clunkiness of like trying to create a situation.
I see what you mean by clunky, but I mean it's just another aspect of the movie. It's not really clunky to me. It's it's completely different
step,
though.
Not clunkiness, but
Hold
just
on,
like a
I said I see what you mean. Relax. I'm saying like I don't think that those things are really comparable, only because this is completely different. Because this is a different being. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Like now this is a different biological person, and he is basically a Sully without having been born a Sully. But they're all fighting against each other because they all got 5 fingers and all that shit.
Right. So now, what's it called? Westworld style, we get fucking Stephen Lang back. He's one of the Na'vi SEALs.
I like to think more like damn, I forgot the name of the show. It's on fuck it. It's on Netflix. Where
after what's Altered Carbon?
Altered Carbon, yeah. They spin you back up and fucking.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Stephen Lang and the Na'vi SEALs go out into the wilderness because they're trying to find Jake.
Hey, Jake!
I want my money, Jake.
I want my money, Jake. Hey, Jake, you been a bad boy, Jake.
Stephen Lang, they decided they're gonna go after Jake Sully because Jake Sully is leading this guerrilla force that's been really formidable against the Sky People led by Edie Falco from Sopranos. I forgot to mention that she's in this movie.
Why not? Right?
Drinking coffee cup from a mech hand.
Why not?
Why not?
It's okay because I still have to have my coffee. I might be playing somebody tough, but I gotta have my coffee. I'm known for having coffee I gotta have my coffee.
I would have loved it if she was drinking coffee with a mech hand, but then like smoking cigarette with like her regular hand, and then just like writing notes. With it. Like I wish that all 4 of the hands are doing something. That would have.
That's autonomously like possible. Like she's moving her.
Well, she's writing with like her real hands, and then she's smoking cigarette with the mech hand, and then she's drinking coffee with the other mech hand. That's how it goes. She's doing
punching
everything.
herself in the face. That's what it sounds like. Sounds like she would punch herself right in the fucking face, and that's way more expensive to do than what you're.
That's in the outtakes.
It's in the outtakes.
But yeah, then they go after the Sully family. Man, there's a lot of things that happen in this movie. Oh, what did
Yeah, they immediately go to the action though. I like that. They went straight to go, like they were like 3 years later.
Yeah, they do like a nice 5-minute recap of everything.
They did a 5-minute recap, but then they also did a fast forward. They did a time jump at the beginning, and then you see that Jake's done rounded the troops. He's fighting a battle, guerrilla warfare style, against these asshole military Marines. And, I like how they set it up. 2 of his sons going out, supposed to be on watch, and then they get froggy and go down there. The little one is like constantly bringing him into trouble, constantly getting him to break the rules because he's always trying to look out for the little brother. Then he gets him almost killed, which tends to be a trope through the rest of the movie. Foreshadowing.
Yeah, there are a couple things that happen a couple of times in this movie, specifically these kids.
Well, that specific scene foreshadowed the last moment that it happened.
For sure. And like they kind of laid it on thick. It's very like, you kind of assume that the older son needs to, either assume some responsibility for the younger son, or the younger son needs to like grow up in this movie, you know. And then we find out pretty early on as like who gets more shine in this movie, like which character is more important, the younger or the older son. We should have mentioned that, yeah, like all of the birth kids. Actually, I was trying to find the cast because there's so many. There are a lot of characters. They're not like in really an order of importance on IMDb. But yeah, Sigourney Weaver, like we should talk about her. Kiri, what did you think of Sigourney Weaver playing the teenage girl?
If I'm not mistaken, nobody knew that she was playing who she was playing until the movie actually came out.
Right.
And I thought it was a really well done like storyline. Mm-hmm. But I do want to say I saw an interview of Sigourney Weaver bigging up herself on this role. Like, she's like, I just found myself, you know, like, I found that 13-year-old me, you know.
Right.
Like, I was like, bitch, you did voiceover work, basically. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you did motion capture.
Yeah.
Fucking a 13-year-old. You were just yourself. You did nothing that reminded me of a 13-year-old.
Yeah, there was some, like, stuff.
She was spaced out. 13. She was a 20-year-old, a 13-year-old's body because she was just walking around spaced out like she just did acid all day.
Yeah, she was the star child of this movie for sure.
Yeah, like come on, man, like come on, Sigourney Weaver. I loved your performance, but goddamn, like I found my 13-year-old me, bitch. Get out of here with that shit. You don't even remember what 13-year-old you was doing.
I think she was like really like I'm sure that there was some sort of defensive marketing going on.
I'm sorry, I called Sigourney Weaver a bitch.
I'm sure there was like a lot of defensive marketing going on because, you know, you have this like she's like what, almost 70 years old and she's playing a teenager. So I'm sure that a lot of people are going to be like, huh? When they hear that.
No, man.
So
like you said, she's 70 years old. So that means half the people who went and saw this movie don't even know who she is.
No, I'm saying like I'm sure when she was saying that in an interview, and I'm sure she said that because someone asked her about playing a teenager.
No, they asked her. No, she said she mentioned it because she was talking about how James Cameron offered her the role, and she was like, oh, I would have to play a 13-year-old. Like, oh, how am I going to do this? And he was like, you can do it. And she was like, oh, I just found my inner 13-year-old. So you're wrong. She didn't just bring it up because somebody asked her about it. Nobody asked her about that. That's why I'm talking about it. Because
I mean, I'm saying she
wasn't asked about that. She wasn't asked about it. She wasn't asked about it.
Fair enough.
She brought it up.
But she's talking about it. That's all I was saying.
I am saying that's why I'm talking about it. Because she was talking about it, yeah. Don't try to Bugs Bunny me over here like, well, she was talking about it.
All I'm saying is that, like, you know, if a almost 70-year-old person is talking about in an interview, I'm not talking about like the movie. If you know, she's explaining why, you know.
Dude, you didn't see the interview? She was double docious bragging on herself. I'm trying to tell you, that's what she did. She super bragged on herself like, I played a 13-year-old. And, you know, like, I played a 13-year-old. I found my inner 13-year-old, and I did that. And I was like, you need to relax, because that was not exactly what happened. That is not completely accurate as to what happened. But I did like the performance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I loved it.
Yeah, she did a good vocal performance. She doesn't necessarily have like a lower register or anything like that. Anyway, she also has a nice high register. So
and they pitched it up. I mean, they pitched it up anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. It sounded good, and yeah, like everybody's CGI. Like it's fine. I remember like listening to a podcast recently where somebody was talking about how like Kate Winslet disappeared into her performance. I was like, she's CGI. Like, that's why you didn't recognize her.
No, I will say that she disappeared into her performance because they did have to do a lot of underwater takes, apparently, before the movie. And she did break the Guinness Book World Record that Tom Cruise broke previously for 6 minutes. She held her breath for 7 minutes underwater for one take.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, she was
I ain't holding my breath under 7 minutes underwater, even if it's a nigga up there shooting. I'm coming back up to get some goddamn air, nigga. What are y'all talking about?
It's very interesting that she even decided to do this movie because she like famously was in James Cameron's Titanic, and she also famously had a terrible time during the shoot. She fractured her elbow. She had several panic attacks, and she got caught hypothermia because she was the only actor who wasn't allowed to wear a wetsuit under her costume. And she stated several times that she woke up in the morning and said, "This is it. This is the day I die."
Yeah, but you really, first of all, she was a child basically at that time. You know what I'm saying? But like, she was extremely young. But also, do you really not know what made her do this movie?
Oh, yeah, it was money.
Oh, yeah, it was a lot of motherfucking money.
Because she also said in an interview, this is years ago, but she said it would take a lot of money for me to work with James Cameron again.
Yeah.
So I'm sure
that
that she
Avatar
got paid
money.
really. I'm sure she got paid really.
She
really
probably
well.
was already getting hit up to do the damn movie back then.
Yeah, and just like being in Avatar.
Because
this,
this, ladies and gentlemen, this movie
years
took
and years and
13 years to fucking make. 13 fucking years. Let me tell you something, you aspiring filmmaker who is watching this right now. You'll never get 13 years to make a movie. You understand that? If you get a fucking contract to make a movie, they'll fucking kill you before they allow you to take 13 years to make the movie. They will kill your fucking sorry ass. Your slow ass. And they will get insurance collected on that shit and get somebody else to write your goofy ass movie. That is a ridiculous amount of time. This nigga could have died between now and goddamn 13 years ago.
Yeah, It's
just insane. I just want to say, Tim and Tom Cruise. That's the only people who can do that in Hollywood.
Tom Cruise and Richard Linklater, the director of Boyhood, the guy who made the movie of the kid. He started filming him in like 7 years old, and then he ended the movie at like 8 when he was 18.
I ain't seen that. That must be an independent film that did well at Sundance and blew up, because I'm talking about Universal Studios.
Oh yeah, like no one's giving you
ain't gonna give you no gut unless you're James Cameron or Tom Cruise. They're the only people who are getting
Cameron.
And I don't even think they'd let fucking Steven Spielberg do it. They're like, no, you good about keeping on? You good about staying on budget?
They might let Christopher Nolan do it. If Oppenheimer makes $1 billion,
that's a good one. That was a good choice.
If Oppenheimer makes $1 billion, they'll be like, okay, next thing you do, 10 years, $1 billion, whatever you need.
Whatever you need. Do you need us to advance technology before you can put this one out?
Right.
James?
Because this is already a big swing. Like,
do you want us to kill your brother first for you, Christopher Nolan?
We'll do it.
Apparently, they don't like each other.
Oh, really? I mean, they haven't done a movie together in a while.
Yeah, it's called Batman.
Yeah.
They don't like each other, apparently. One of them's British. They're both British, but one of them kept... Christopher Nolan lost his accent because he spent time in Chicago.
Yeah, he was... I think, he spent
and so he lost his accent because they kept making fun of him. Pussy. And then his brother, apparently, they just... Maybe it's a British brother thing, because those guys from Oasis hate each other, too. So... But anyway.
Maybe. I don't know.
So we have
after Stephen Lang has a little run in with the Avatar family, the Sully clan. Sully's like, okay, we have to move away from the Hallelujah Mountains. Is that what they're called?
I don't know. Nigga.
They have to move away from there, and they have to. So they decide to retreat to the Water Tribe.
Not before Spider got caught.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, when they have that interaction,
Spider gets caught. So what does you not like? What do you not like about Spider? Spider was fine.
I don't.
Who was it? Was it a different act? The actor was Justin Bieber. Was it Justin Bieber?
Maybe it was the actor, but like I didn't really I didn't much care for his like arc. Like I didn't really see what they were conveying. Is like, is he getting Stockholm syndrome?
No, I think it's gonna be. I think his story is gonna be conveyed more in the next few movies.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, like
because apparently they're supposed to go to Earth in the last movie.
Okay.
It's
I like the idea of the like, you know, the Tarzan type kid, and even like they have a little science explanation. There's actually like an episode of For
See,
All
why you
Mankind.
gotta make it Tarzan though? See, I don't like that. Now I don't like it. See, I was thinking more Bagheera. Yeah, no.
Okay, sure.
No, nigga, he's Bagheera.
Sure, Bagheera is fine.
Bagheera is not fine. Bagheera is amazing.
I see white dreads. I think Tarzan.
I'm not fucking with. You know, all my life, I never met an Indian boy or man named Bagheera. Just saying. Might be racist.
That's because no white people named those.
Like I said,
kids.
might be racist. Just a little thought, little food for thought. Somebody do some research. Let's cancel Jungle Book. No, I'm joking. If you find out, keep it to yourself. Goddamn it.
But yeah, like Spider gets kidnapped. He spends some time with his, you know, stepdad.
And it's time to get the fuck out of Dodge and go move to the ocean.
Move
now
to
let
the
me
ocean,
tell you
Clint.
something. Goddamn it. I don't know why I said that like that, but look, let me tell you something. Goddamn it. I saw this movie at the 4DX, and if you don't know what, if you don't know what that is basically a roller coaster ride at Universal Studios inside of a movie theater. And there was lightning. That scene right there was crazy. There was lightning going off and fucking getting sprayed with water, and it was crazy, man. The shit's shaking like you're on a fucking bird thing, whatever they called. Like, it was crazy.
Underwater Banthas.
Definitely loved. No, there wasn't the underwater ones yet. They were leaving home.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was that scene just going from the forest to the ocean. That was crazy.
Right.
Like, the visuals on this movie were stupid amazing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of fast forwarding us through this one, through this part right here. I'm transitioning right here. This is what I do right here. So, but the scene where they introduced themselves to the Aqua tribe, I don't know what they called. What are they called?
Oh, their other Na'vi. I forget what they. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
what
I forgot their other name. But anyway, the other, the green Na'vi. Which we didn't even know. Was that said in the first one?
They did mention that there are other tribes, like, you know, apparently.
Yeah, but there's other tribes within those green Na'vis. So I just thought there was other tribes within the blue Na'vis. But anyway,
and there's also, I mean, like, if you go into, you know, the internet and look into some deep lore that James Cameron's written, there's like also like a fire tribe.
And I'm not reading his little journal. This nigga been writing this shit for 13 years. I'm supposed to just be checking in on some shit that I don't think is gonna get made for 13 years. I'm just supposed to just keep checking in on his little journals. I don't work for fucking Disney, nigga. I'm not watching the dailies of your fucking script, dog. Like, get out of here. But I digress. But so anyway, they meet up with the greens. The blues meet the greens. And the greens give them a lot of shit. But I feel like they didn't give them as much shit as you'd think they would. You know what I'm saying? I thought a lot of it was going to come from the adults too. But it's just really a squabble between children. And that's when I realized I'm watching a kids movie.
Definitely more focused on...
Best kids movie ever of all time.
It definitely focused more on the kids, squabbles, because I think that they, at the end of the day, this has like a very similar structure as the first Avatar movie, and I think that they want to definitely have that budding romance type of thing. Definitely. And also having the like, oh, this is the woman who's teaching the guy the new ways in this culture that he doesn't understand. And I did also really like the way that these Na'vi look different, because in so many sci-fi movies you'll have like a whole planet where everybody looks exactly the same. But it's interesting.
These are clearly the niggas of the like, these are the niggas of the Na'vi. Right. Everybody got big noses. Everybody got, like a little slightly different build in the chest. They got that meteor chest. I was like, these are the Polynesian.
Yeah, these are the Caribbean Na'vi.
Yeah.
And I shout outs to Cliff Curtis, who has played every every race in Hollywood. He played he played a Mexican person in Trading Day, Arab dude in Syria or Body of Lies. He's done it all. He's played a Samoan dude in Hobbs and Shaw, which I think is his actual nationality. So shout outs to Cliff Curtis. He's an amazing actor.
He's
a chameleon. I think he is Samoan.
No.
I
Anyway.
have to look this up. Actually.
So anyway, I'll just continue the
Cliff
story.
Curtis is great.
So yeah, they play a trick on what's his name? What's the kid's name? I don't know this nigga's name.
Yeah, there's so many names.
Tatu.
You talking about the younger?
Yeah, the younger
boy?
little brother.
Yeah. Yeah, they.
Yeah. Anyway, he gets tricked into going out into the ocean beyond the reef. It's stupid, and that was clearly a trick, dummy. But he gets attacked by a big shark-looking thing, who then is beat the fuck to hell by a. Do you remember that name?
I don't. I want to say Turok, but I think that's the name of the.
Yeah, you don't know nothing. But anyway, the whale-like creature from this motherfucking planet. Do you remember the planet's name?
Pandora.
Bam! So yeah, Pandora's got whales. We didn't know that before. And excuse me. And
yeah, what did you think of Space
Pandora's what? Space whales?
Yeah, what did you think?
I was about to say Pandora's space whales apparently are extremely fucking intelligent and can talk.
Yeah.
Motherfucker was talking to a goddamn whale. I was like, holy shit. They put subtitles up here for a goddamn whale.
Yeah, that threw me. Apparently, they said that they're more intelligent than humans.
Yeah, making songs and fucking they got ageless medicine in their brain stem. That tripped me out. So that's what we find out with Spider, which I like. That's why I kind of liked Spider's character, because we're like learning about Earth similar to the way that he's learning about Earth. Like, we're like Navi on this planet when we're watching this show. Watching this movie. It's the perspective of them. It has never really been the perspective of Earthlings. So now that we've got the perspective of Earthlings, we're getting to kind of see how Earth works. Oh, now they're stopping aging like immediately.
Right.
Okay, damn, how does that look? How does that play out on Earth? How is that playing out in the economics? You know what I'm saying? It gives you a deeper level of the onion that is Pandora. So, and we got a fucking spirit tree underneath the goddamn ocean. Who knew?
Who knew?
We get to find out these little things by visiting this place. But also, this was too long. They stayed there way too fucking long. Let's keep it fucking pushing. That was fucking ridiculously a long fucking movie. That movie was fucking long, dog.
That was a very long movie.
Long, man. There were certain scenes that just was like lasting, you know what I'm saying, doing a little too much, lasting a little too long. I got it. They bonded. I don't need to see this nigga play in the ocean with this nigga for 7 straight minutes.
Yeah, it's funny because there was a movie that I saw a couple days ago called Babylon that I did not like. But it was also 3 hours long, but it was edited to a point where when I walked out, I was like, oh, that didn't really feel like it was 3 hours. That movie sucked, but it didn't feel like it was 3 hours.
Yeah, no, Avatar feels like 3 hours. It feels like 4 hours because there's certain parts where you're like,
even though it's a way better movie. Yeah,
you're like, okay, come on. Move along. But yeah, then this motherfucker, what you call him?
Which
the military dude.
Oh, Stephen Lang.
Mr. Lang, don't stop. Now I don't stop, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna get you. Now hear me, Mr. Sully.
We're Sully. Hello, Sully.
Sully, you owe me.
Man, he is having I want to see the behind the scenes mocap of him because he's having so much fun in this.
Talking. I'm sorry. I know I'm talking shit about motion cap. I have friends who've acted in motion cap. It's not as easy as it seems. You still have to act. But if you're acting and you just don't even have come on, you're talking to a screen, bro. Come on, don't tell me about your.
It's definitely it actually.
I'm saying it's more voice than it is regular acting. But the person I'm talking about is a voice actress as well. So like, you know what I'm saying? So
Well, but actually, you know what? One of the things I feel like the mocap makes it a little bit more challenging is that you have to, use a lot of the facial muscles also be a really great voice actor, which is why I think that Zoe Saldana has been so great such great casting for both of these movies, and she's like the sort of the standout because she's always been a really great facial actress. Like you can,
I would argue that all of these people are already that, and that's the reason they were probably chosen. And so that's why I don't really put a lot of like. I'm just like, come on, man.
And I think that
y'all wasn't out there tumbling and rumbling around like. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dog. Like, I'm just saying, like, in those types of situations, like, the performance that they gave was great. But how much did they really do? That's what I want to know. I want to see the stuntman motion capture because they had to use a stuntman for a lot of this stuff. Stunt men and women for a lot of this stuff. And I would like to see those behind the scenes.
Yeah, I've never really looked at any of the behind the. There's like one behind the scenes like short clip I've seen of Kate Winslet, actually let's talk about that scene really quickly because we were mentioning that the Na'vi SEALs are out here killing the space whales in order to they're harvesting their brains for immortal juice.
We already mentioned that.
But they're also trying to draw in the Sully family.
Facts.
So once Kate Winslet and Cliff Curtis, the leaders of the Water Clan of the Na'vi, they come upon the whales. Actually, it's Kate Winslet's whale, we find out, is one of the dead ones. She has this really emotional scene where she is crying, and that's the scene that I've seen of in the behind the scenes of her and the mocap of her getting all emotional.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I will say that it's cool that they played, different, they get to, first of all, I have a theory. All actors are crazy. The best actors in the world are crazy as fuck. And so the fact that they get to kind of be crazy, doing all that shit, I bet you they had a fucking time of their lives doing this fucking movie. You know what I'm saying? Just yelling at each other, hissing at each other, wearing gray tights. Aqua suits and shit, you know what I'm saying? Just fucking walking around having a great time. I'm sure everybody had a great time. Does it look like everybody had a great time? It was a movie that felt like everybody had a great time making it.
Yeah,
so
fun time movie.
But we digress. This movie kind of got a little ridiculous at the end with the flooding of the boat submarine thing, just slowly capsizing and going underwater.
Right.
I was like, James Cameron wrote that as an Easter egg nod towards his own fucking movie, Titanic.
This is definitely the most Cameron-y movie.
He fucking called back something from his own movie.
Titanic and The Abyss.
And The Abyss, dude. I was like, dog.
It's like,
this is the longest. I was like, this is the longest. Are they gonna die? Are they not gonna die? I've ever seen in my life. Come on, bro. Will they survive it? Who knows?
It was lasting a little while.
But it was a good sad time though when they killed his son. I was like, that's a bold move, killing the older son. Big bold move. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, because it's a kids movie, so killing somebody. Who's gonna do that? But man, they killed him, shot him in the chest. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Walt Disney is rolling around in his goddamn grave right now. Y'all fucking shot a kid in the chest in a movie with my name on it. Oh my God, he's losing his shit. But
the second time that the kids stumble upon Stephen Lang and the gang.
Stephen Lang in the gang. Stephen Lang in the gang.
Second time he rolls upon them, he calls in for his daddy, and that's when older brother gets killed. And then they get kidnapped again, or because they get kidnapped 3 times, right? because the little girl's like, I can't believe I'm getting tied up again.
Yeah. She got tied up twice in the scene.
Yeah.
And then they got caught the first time. That's 3.
And then that's when we have a little Mexican standoff where Spider is being held up by speaking of racist, Natiri is just like holding the knife up to Spider, and then Steven is holding the knife up to who is it?
Their child.
Took, yeah. Or I think that was the baby's name, right? Yeah,
it's Took. No, it's Took. Why we only remember the baby's name?
Because the baby's cute. And it's easy to remember. Took.
She had the best job.
Syllable.
I bet you she did most of her actual motion capture action work. I bet you she did. She had the fucking shout out to that little baby.
Yeah, she was great.
Because if she had to get underwater and do them shots like everybody else, fuck Kate Winslet's fucking record, man. That little baby, y'all got this little baby. I bet you she don't grow up talking about some. It was the worst experience I ever had in my life. She was a tough ass kid. Shout out to you, kid. You were an all-star.
Hey, I mean,
It's been said.
I'm sure she got to wear a wetsuit.
No, everybody got to wear a wetsuit. I'm just saying she's a child underwater. Yeah. Like you could do it in the scenes underwater. You're not. They weren't no. That's deep. That's some shit. If she actually did that shit as a child, shout out to you, kid. Everybody else is a grown ass adult. That's a child doing that shit. Yeah. Shout out to her.
What did you think of the scene? Yeah, with we have the kind of standoff where Lang has got the knife to Took's throat, and we have Natiri with the knife to Spider's throat. We already saw Spider a little afraid of Natiri earlier.
All right, nigga. All right, you asked me. Just let me answer.
This is more setting for the people who are listening who maybe haven't watched the movie yet.
Well, if you haven't watched the movie, punch yourself in the face. Because why are you watching this video right now? But if you have watched the movie and you're not punching yourself in the face, take a listen. Come on, sit over here next to Baby Billy. Uncle Baby Billy gonna give you a motherfucking lesson right now. Now, I thought it was stupid. But in hindsight, it's foreshadowing what I believe is coming in the next movie.
You think this is more just addings to Spider's arc of what he's going to do in the future?
True. And I don't think it's negative. I just think it's different. I think it's just adding on to what he's going to be. Right. I think, yeah. So I'm not even going to talk about what I think because that's a whole nother video. This is a 3-hour movie. I'm not talking about everything in this fucking movie.
Okay.
We'll be here for 4.5 hours talking about this movie if we talk about everything in this movie.
It's a very long movie. And a lot of stuff happens in this as opposed to the first movie where not a lot happens, but this is a lot of shit's going on. But yeah, I did think it was a little weird for Natiri's whole attitude towards Spider. Even early in the movie where she's like, Spider's not one of us. That little white motherfucker. He
needs to be with his own kind. That's what she said.
It's like, your husband's pretty much a white dude. He just happened upon a blue body. But your husband's a white dude. You fell in love with a white dude.
He ditched his body.
Yeah, but he's still the same person.
He ditched the whiteness inside of him. But that white man right there is a true negra. But he ditched all the white inside of him and became one with the negra.
White power.
White power. He didn't even marry white. None of them married white except their adopted white daughter.
None of them married white. Man, I can't believe what we were talking about now because now I'm in a Clayton Bigsby get out brain.
Well, you were saying that she was being racist, but I'm just saying she's not looking at him. She's not looking at Jake like that because Jake's already killed Whitey.
Yeah,
he's already killed Whitey and destroyed his white body, leaving his whiteness to burn off into the abyss of space.
But if we're talking about
time.
just what
sorry, I'm going to keep doing that voice through the rest of this video.
But this kid has known nothing but a Na'vi.
That's not true. He was living with the humans.
He was a baby.
Listen, you're forgetting a very important part of the very beginning. It was very fast. he was living with the humans. He was living with the humans that were helping them with medic drops and shit and all that shit. Like, he wasn't living amongst the Na'vi. He just was coming and hanging out. Like, that's why I said he was PJ that lived next door. He was not Max. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's where I think you're getting... that's why I think your mixed emotions about how that works is coming in, because he's not actually as tight-knit with them as you're making it seem, or you are perceiving, I should say, because...
I'm not so much talking about the tight-knitness. Is just like, you know, Jake Sully, he, up until like 20, however years old, he knew life of being an Earthling, and they still took him in and showed him. They
didn't show. He's not. But he's not. They didn't. That's what you're getting. Your wires are getting crossed here. This dude did not show up in his Earth body and say, "Hey, I want to be one of y'all," and they were like, "Cool." That's not how that happens. This kid is not in a Na'vi body. He is not able to do the same thing. That is a complete different thing. And that's why I was jokingly, but very much so seriously saying he ditched his white body. He ditched his whiteness. He destroyed everything that was himself to be what he is now. This kid is still white. Now, he can't do nothing about it, but that's just how it is. So he wasn't as close as you or probably perceived it to be with the tribe. He just grew up hanging out with these kids. So that's why he is familiar with everything. But other than that, that's where it stops. And it was clear he was aware of that. Like, he never tried to be like, I'm just as one of y'all as everybody. Like, he never went into that because he knew I ain't one of them. That's why I liked this character. He had a lot of build to it, but like, I felt like he could have talked more, done some other things, you know what I'm saying? But they revised they saved it at the end to me when he started fucking up the ship and everything, like being a big part of the ending. I was like, okay, they kind of saved the day on his character. Otherwise, it would have been that white kid from fucking Andor just fucking walking around doing nothing until the end. And you just realize, oh, he's just meant to do not a goddamn thing.
What did you think of him saving Stephen Lang at the end?
It's great. That's what I'm saying. All of that is great because he's fucking setting up his character to have an actual arc. I'd way prefer that than him just walking around, him doing a whole bunch of shit that doesn't matter, or doing nothing until all the way to the end and he still does nothing. Like, let his character lay lying until he's actually needed to do something, and then he does a shit ton of shit, which is great. Because one thing I thought was funny, because like, he didn't have no problems adapting. It took these motherfuckers months, allegedly, to get used to being in the water, dealing with the animals. Right. This motherfucking spider get out there. Hey, he he riding the little sea animals like it's nothing. Right. This motherfucker swimming like it's nothing. I ain't never seen this nigga swim. This nigga, shit. Right. We out here. Yeah. I was just saying, like, hey, Spider was out here. He was the truth, man. He was out here. He never walked on anything. He was just like on top of everything. Did you notice that? I was like, whoever this kid is an actor. Like, they walk out onto the ship's deck. Right. This motherfucker's jumping on the handlebars and shit. Right. I'm like, goddamn.
I mean, yeah, he spent his whole life in the jungle.
I know, but shout out to the actor who was doing it. You know what I'm saying? He was jumping out all over the place. I was like, man, you know what? I'd have been scared to jump down on that. I'd just, I'm gonna crawl down. I'm like a cat. I'm like, because that's how I developed my shit. That's my shit, James. I developed like a cat, and I'm a Na'vi cat. You see? You don't like that? See, I think they look more like cats, so I just do the cat.
Blue cats.
I crawl down things. I crawl down things real slow because I'm scared of heights. Because cats are scared of heights.
What did you think? I mean, that's pretty much all that happens in this one. But what did you think of this compared to the first one? Did you think it was better, same, worse?
It was way better than the first one. Fuck out of here. You seriously asking me that? This was way better than the first one. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely thought it was better than the. You definitely thought it was better than the first one.
You do that a lot. You be asking me, and then you just go on to the next thing. Like,
yeah, I definitely thought that this was better than the first one. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Our ranking.
I liked it. What was your ranking?
I liked it. See, we don't hate everything.
Enjoyed it. Could have been maybe a little shorter.
I saw it in 40X though, so maybe it was way better for me than it was for everybody else. I had water smacking me in the face like you should smack that like button right now. Subscribe, like, hit the bell.
Thank you guys for listening to the Drunk Banthas podcast. We do this every once in a while, so go ahead and leave a like and subscribe so you get notifications on the new videos. Oh, sorry, I typed this weird, so I apologize. Check us out on Twitter. I am Burgundy. Check us out on Twitter, IG, TikTok, Spotify, iTunes, likewise, Letterboxd, all the internet things at the Drunk Banthas. Until next time, stay safe, my little dream walkers, and may the force be with you.
I see you, drunkies.